Hello, my astrology friends and family. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and I am back with Master Astrologer, Sidereal Astrologer Trifon Nikolov, who has some good news for us for at least the later part of the month of November. Hello, Trifon.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Oops. There you go. Sorry, can you hear me?
Nice to talk with you and for you one more time here. So, as you will see from the title of the video, there are some good things that are about to happen this month, but I will make them to be the dessert today. What I will actually start with is whatever bad news are there first.
So it sounds the beginning of the month.
Yes. So this is in harmony with what the actual order of events for the month, because the good things are happening towards the end of the month, and the not so good ones are happening earlier in the month. So, of course,
as long as it's good after the bad, it's preferable than first good and then bad.
Yes, this is always my tactic when I'm making readings for people, because it's of course not okay to finish a horoscope reading with the bad news. You know, people they remember only the bad things usually. So in this way, it's always even more heavy for them.
Oh, talking about personal reading, Trifon is offering the whole of November. You can get a discounted 60-minute reading with him for 2023. So if you want to get your sidereal horoscope using ancient Babylonian and ancient methods of prediction and primary directions with Trifon Nikolov for 2023, the price is discounted the whole November. After that, in December, it's not going to be anymore. So now is the time to order next year horoscope for yourself. So if you'd like, I'll put a link below.
People, you are welcome. I'm using cycles that almost no one else is using, and still they're considered by the ancients to be the most powerful ones, according to the ancient texts, and that's true. So, to go back to the monthly celestial events. Yes, this month, there will be big turning for everybody for good things. But this is towards the end of the month. What happens before that? Let's see. We are in the so-called tunnel of eclipses, you can say. So the time between solar and lunar eclipse, which is considered in general to be not so positive. And you know, from the prediction for the past month, right now the times are really turbulent. If you remember, I told you October will be really the worst. Many of you already experienced this. And especially, this was evident from the news on the last days that were related to the station of Mars. You know, Mars changed its direction. And at the time of the changing of his direction, happened horrible things around the world, especially in Korea and Indonesia. You know, hundreds of people died in accidents.
Yes, they were having heart attacks and dropping in a stampede and something. Yeah.
So in one stadium in Indonesia, hundreds of people died.
Oh.
After the mob became wild, and the same of the Halloween celebration in South Korea, the same thing.
Because it's happening in a human sign, in the first degrees of Gemini sidereally, that's why it involves crowds of people, isn't it?
Exactly. The ancients are saying when something's happening in a sign with human shape, they say. So the human shape signs are, you know, Gemini, twins, Aquarius, the angel, and the heavenly woman, Virgo. And when we have such stations or eclipses and so on in those signs, this is, according to the ancients, affecting humanity. And the station of Mars, of course, was very dangerous, very deadly for people. No such other events in the many years, so as those that happened in the last days. So this is about Mars. I already explained what Mars means for people in the monthly reading for October.
Can you say,
However,
expect with the war now that Mars is retrograde? Is gonna kind of come down a bit or what?
well, I
Okay.
think it's evident what it means. It's evident. About the war, I already said that it represents some turning of the tide of the events. And so far, there was a month of prevailing successful activities on the side of Ukraine. Now, the tide is turning.
Now Russia is
Mars.
starting to
Now,
take off.
yes, now Russia is becoming more aggressive, more destructive, and so on. And we can surely say that Mars is, in this case, significator of Russia, because she is the party that began the war, so it symbolizes Mars, right? So anyway, still the retrogradation of Mars will show that things in the war will stuck, more or less. So there will be some sort of stalemate for the 2 months ahead, the retrogradation of Mars. This is what I think. I have more things to say about it, but this is for the next year. And this month we will make, as you suggested already, Lada, we will make a video for the 2023 year.
Yeah, guys, I'm
This
just
will be later.
at the start of December, the first 10 days, I'm releasing the astrology marathon for 2023, where our best astrologers will be making predictions for the important events that are to come. So tune in, set your date, the first 10 days of December. Many amazing astrologers and Trifon's much anticipated 2023 video.
I will just hint that I have some good things to say about it. So
Awesome.
let's go back to November now. Now the eclipses are active. And I didn't give any comment on the solar eclipse that happened on 25th of October, but it's important eclipse as it will be affecting months and months ahead. So according to ancient Mesopotamians, for instance, this and any other eclipse will have an effect lasting 100 days, at least. According to more modern traditions, it will be 2 years. Let's say at least 100 days of very strong influence. And I checked what the ancients are actually saying about this eclipse. So they say the following, few words, but as usual, they will be correct in the future. What they say, lingering hunger. So they say this eclipse shows that there will be hunger. So how we can translate this in modern terms? In some places it will be literal. So the eclipse happened in Libra, which is, according to the ancient sign, much related to Egypt, for instance. And in general, I can say the African Horn. So this is like Ethiopia, Somalia, and so on. I already also saw on the news that there is danger for hunger in the last days there. They're proclaiming it already 1 year. But now with the eclipse, we can say that in the next 3 months, there probably really will be hunger in Africa. And for the rest of the world, this must just show more difficulties for the common people, for the common folk, to feed themselves, sustain themselves, right?
Well, I'm hearing people that are buying half of what they used to eat and much cheaper things, so they're avoiding even the expensive things like cheese and meat and cutting off on a lot of, because the prices are going so high. So the
Exactly. So we can say, because the eclipse already happened, that this effect is already here.
mhm.
So
And
of
the
course,
well,
when
what
they
about countries that saw the eclipse? Because it was visible from most of Europe as well.
yes, I will say about this. So okay, so the eclipse will, according to its visibility area, so it was visible in Central Asia, in what is former USSR lands and modern Russia territories. So we can surely say that this eclipse is afflicting mostly those places.
Wait, this eclipse was, I could see it from Bulgaria and be part of Europe, the 25th of October one. Or are you talking about the 8th of November one?
Well, from what I remember, it is related to those countries that I mentioned.
I was watching it from, like, I peeked and it was happening in the sky.
Yes, but the most visibility, the full effect of the eclipse is in those parts of Asia. Of course, it was also partly visible in other places like Europe, but the effect will be not so strong there. Still, we will be present, but I have more to say about it. Just listen. So, it is in general affecting Asia and Europe, of course, but mostly the territories of Central Asian republics, like Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, and so on, former USSR republics, and the territories right in the middle of Russia. So, which made me think about conscripts that are drawn mostly from those places for the army of Russia, for instance. So this is not a good sign for the people. Yeah. Other effects are, of course, that there can be much economical problems in those places. Partly, of course, Europe will be also affected, but there is also another way. The ancients are describing a way to how to see the eclipse, how to judge which parts of the world will be afflicted, and according to the movement of the shadow and so on, because this is the logic, the conclusion is that it will afflict mostly Russia and the Scandinavian countries, which is interesting. So this eclipse is about those places. Russia and, interestingly, the Scandinavian countries, which are rich countries. So I guess the effect upon them will be not so much about economical things, but mostly political. Anyway, still, of course, people in those countries should be like more careful about the possibility of bad events going there. Recently, there was some terrorist attacks and so on, and other not so good activities like spying and so on. People who read the news know this. So, however, 3 months ahead. So for Russia, with this eclipse, the sun in Libra being eclipsed, I guess this can be a sign for the leader of Russia being sick, for instance. It's a possible meaning. And so, of course, the topic of eclipses is naturally a little bit more depressing, right? Because it talks about problems. So I think this is the most important information about this solar eclipse. For me, the most important thing is what the ancients are saying. They say hunger. The exact expression is lingering hunger. Okay, so it's not so strong for the rich countries, but still will be felt somehow. But for the other ones, it's more difficult. So people,
They
what
have
to say,
nothing
people,
to say
it's good
about
time to have a diet. What?
Yeah, that's a good positive side.
Yes, this is an opportunity from the heavens for you to go in harmony with it, with some good diet. some intentional hunger, intentional.
That's a good
Because,
point.
yes, otherwise it can be, you know, forced upon yourself by the circumstances. So,
what about, but back then when those texts were written, they didn't have electricity. How would they express it? Lack of electricity and gas. Would it be similar? Probably.
well,
Cold.
I think gas and electricity, they have more to do with Mars. But anyway. So, however, the prices of energy, of course, they're affecting the prices of food. So there is some connection. Food is a source of energy, right? So, anyway, I think the position of the eclipse shows because the eclipse is not so far away, actually, from the main star of Virgo, like only 7 degrees apart. And the main star of Virgo is representing all the fruit, all the results from agriculture. And I think this is the main reason why the ancients said about this.
Well, they closed the corridor for grains now from the Black Sea, which delivers some of the most grains in the world to other countries. So
yes, and this happened after some devastating attack on the port of Sevastopol, and exactly around the time of the eclipse, actually. So it's pretty much related, actually, right? It's already in motion. This is already in motion already. Deliveries of grain are being cut. This. Now, as
the next eclipse, 8th of November, midterm elections. What's up with that?
I can say so the ancients, they are not explaining. Of course, they're leaving you to think about why is this meaning and so on. But now knowing that it's most probably related to the star Spica being in proximity to the eclipse, I remember another meaning of the star, which is about spirituality and spiritual people. Right. So I guess also this is very much testing time for those people. And some of them maybe even will be lost to humanity in those 3 months ahead. People with like higher spiritual qualities, potentially also more famous about this, right? And it's a time of test, I guess, for the true spiritual essence of people with this eclipse. Okay, so people, watch out to follow the true spiritual vows. This eclipse will be definitely testing. So now, maybe too much to be talking about another eclipse, but it is coming, so we have to. What to say? Another eclipse is coming. And this time is a lunar one. It will be happening on the 8th of November. Now, reading the ancient authors about their comments about this eclipse, I realized something also. So, it will be a lunar eclipse, which in the sidereal plane, which you can observe with your own eyes also, will be happening in Aries, in the last 10 degrees, the third decade of Aries. So it's 20 degrees and some minutes, almost 21 Aries. What the ancients are saying is simply the following. They say there will be attempted abortion of women. Attempted abortion of women. This is what they say. They say only this. Attempted abortion of women. So, there is more probability now for women to become depressed, to fear about what will happen with being suddenly pregnant and so on. And what to say, people, be careful, watch for danger of abortion.
How long is that influence?
100 days.
100.
So now I also noticed something else. because the eclipse is happening on the 8th of November, which is happening to be an important election day in USA. And I know that also this same topic of abortion is very actually influential now about the potential election results. So then I will just say that whatever happens on these elections, the most important result is about abortion, about the rights of women. And because it's an eclipse, maybe it shows danger of women to lose some rights about this due to the elections. Right?
I just checked, and that miscarriages all over the world have risen so much already this year, like more than like a double almost.
Yes, this is because of the difficult times, but now is the most dangerous, the most difficult moment coming, right? Especially in the next 2 weeks, especially around 8th of November. What to say? Women have to think about it. And I discovered also the reason why the ancients are saying this. There is a reason. Aligned with those degrees in Aries are some stars, which the ancients are calling the kids. They're calling those stars the kids. And so the eclipse will be in proximity to the stars that are known as the kids. So I would then say immediately that actually this eclipse is not good for children at all, in general.
Well,
not only for the abortions.
Death rates of children that have been treated have risen double and triple. It's ridiculous. So many kids are dying suddenly. And it's probably going to speed up. I'm giving my opinion here. I know what it is, but some people might not connect the dots. But and now they made it part of the children's vaccination for school, that treatment. And now all kids will have to. I know you don't agree with me on that, but I have to give my opinion.
I agree. I agree. Vaccination is already too much of it. Everybody got the virus. Everybody is already vaccinated by nature. Anyway. So what to say, people? Watch pregnant women. Watch the condition of children in the next 2 weeks, especially, and in general in the next 3 months, because this indication there is not okay. It is not okay. We will see probably a rise in crime related to children, crime related to their rights, and all kinds of problems related to them. So there can be different scenarios, of course. Okay, so this is the main meaning, according to the ancients. Drawing from the essence of this place in the sky, I can say also in general it's not good for women, especially those younger and beautiful, of course, because the last 10 degrees of Aries, they're said to be belonging to Venus, the decay to Venus. So, and that's why it is related also to women. And also it's related to people who are, for instance, into art, artists of all kinds. I guess it's not good for them also. And in general for those professions. So the eclipse is not okay for all those things. And because it is related, as you can see, to children, to women, Venus, we can say also it's somehow problematic about love matters. So all people, of course, must be a little bit more like concerned about love, harmony, peace, balance, and on a very personal level. This eclipse coming. In addition, I will improvise additional meaning. I think that some of the people who are very tricky and deceitful, who are potentially also related to those places in the sky. Okay, some of the famous, people who are deceiving others. well, they will meet big problems in the coming days. So, what else can be said about this eclipse? For certain countries, it's not good. It's worse compared to others. And what I mean here is Brazil, the Caribbean islands, Ireland, not in the last place, the middle portions of USA and the west coast of USA. The eclipse will be afflicting those places, and also the same portions of Canada. So in those places, all those meanings that I just listed, they will be definitely felt more. So now let's go to the positive things, right?
I'm ready.
Or maybe to postpone it a little bit to give another news.
Okay. If you have more bad ones.
I'm reminding you that the time of the invisible Venus is continuing. So still is not a good time for things related to love, right? Still is a time of spiritual work on inner level about the principle of love. It's a transition time. So we're waiting Venus to rise next month. We'll be talking about it. But remember what it means. There was a comment about it from the video in September. Yeah? You can listen more there if you don't know. And in connection to this invisibility of Venus, it is becoming even worse this month. 12th of November, Venus is becoming debilitated. She enters Scorpio, in other words. Scorpio is not a sign of harmony. It's belonging to Mars, so it's about struggle, evolution, transformation, searching for the truth. And Venus there experience big issues usually. So Venus will be there 12th November till 6th of December. And of course, this is not good for people who are ruled by Venus, like having sidereal ascendant in Libra. Western astrology, this is Scorpio. And sidereal ascendant Taurus. In Western astrology, this is Gemini. So now you know when things will improve, after 6th of December. Remember this. Until then, they're becoming even worse, especially on the 12th and onward. Other events, 21st of November, Mercury and Venus will make a conjunction in Scorpio. This is not good for Mercury. Mercury is already in a malefic sign in that time in Scorpio, but afflicted by the debilitated Venus. This is not okay for people ruled by Mercury. This is sidereal ascendant Gemini, like me. And in Western astrology, this is Cancer. And also the sidereal ascendant Virgo, which in Western astrology is Libra. So those people can experience more issues, more problems of different kinds. Venus in Scorpio is really leading to crisis and losses, sometimes even dangers. So watch out. The retrogradation of Mars is continuing into Taurus. So Mars is continuing to afflict the financial state of the world. I read today that the production in Europe is really low already, like 50%. This is a sign of what is happening. Taurus is definitely a sign related to production. So this influence of Mars is only driving the prices higher for food, for instance. And finally, let's go to the positive news. I think you're already desperate to hear them. What is actually happening? So after being retrograde for couple of months, namely since July, Jupiter will become extremely strong. And this is happening this month, 24th of November. So why this is so important? Why this is so positive? This is the best thing that can happen now. Because Jupiter will be very, very powerful. He becomes direct in his own sign in Pisces. So strong Jupiter will benefit all people, the entire humanity. For everybody on personal level, depends where Jupiter is making this station for you, in which house. So it will be different for everybody in this way. Anyway, most of all, Jupiter shows that the good energy, the good force becomes much more effective after being blocked since July. And the result is protection, much more protection for people in whatever they need. The coming of good events into life of people of all kinds. Depends what your ascendant is, what Jupiter rules there. Jupiter is the planet of the good destiny. Jupiter is the planet of good karma. So whatever good has been won or is deserved to happen to people, including good things that they deserved in past lives, for instance, good karma. So now it will be unlocked. Right? For instance, for different ascendants, this will give different results. If you have Aries rising in Sidereal, which is in tropical Western astrology Taurus, well, this will bring about good results in general from your actions and much spiritual development and reduction of losses. If you have Taurus in Sidereal and Gemini in Western, this will bring about raising of income, freedom, and friendship. If you have Gemini in Sidereal, which is Cancer in Western, professional success, success in all your actions, success in love. If you have Cancer rising in Sidereal, which is Leo in Western, okay, you have successful foreign travels, you have spiritual development, and your life path will become easier. If you have Leo rising in Sidereal, which is Virgo in Western, this shows much more support coming to you from others, successful inner change, and good time on very personal, intimate matters. If you have Virgo rising in Sidereal, which is Libra in Western, this promotes successful time in love, or if you're married, for your partner, the partner becoming more successful. These are maybe like half of the effects that I'm describing, by the way. These are some things. If you want to know more, of course, we can talk in private. So what about the other ascendants? Libra Sidereal, which is Scorpio in Western, it will have much more success and being more effective about work and health due to the influence of Jupiter becoming direct. If you have Scorpio rising in Sidereal, which is Sagittarius in Western, this will bring about much more romantic time, entertainment, creativity. Creativity can be even about children. So good time for Scorpios, really good one. If you have Sidereal rising Sagittarius, which is Capricorn in Western, well, this will be good time for your family and to improve your home, purchase property, and in general bring more happiness and emotional relaxation. It's especially good for Sagittarius. If you have Capricorn in Sidereal rising, you will be really needing this position because Saturn is in the last 2 years there. This is in Western astrology Aquarius. So Jupiter will promote all the intellectual activity and social life and traveling. It will relax your nervous system. It will show good events about your siblings. So if you have Aquarius rising in Sidereal, which in Western is Pisces, well, some of you will consider themselves, especially if you are like more material minded, so to say, but everybody, because Aquarius is the sign that will benefit financially. So good time for the finances of whoever has Sidereal Aquarius rising. And in general, it will enjoy more material side of things in life. This can be many things. Like food, money, but also sexuality. It's good for family also. And finally, those who have Pisces rising in Sidereal, which is Aries in Western. I guess for them is the most beneficial thing because this is their ruler, Jupiter, becoming strong in their rising sign. Important new beginnings, new changes, new chances in life, all positive ones. So overall success, overall improvement, including about health, about life in general, about everything. So this is what Jupiter will bring literally for everybody. And people who are desiring to have more protection in difficulties, now Jupiter will start to give more. The position of Jupiter in Pisces, I think, becoming more effective, will trigger processes that are important for the entire society, people in each country, because Jupiter will promote helping each other, love, compassion, and will drive people to work for the good of society. And this will have results in the coming months ahead due to the influence of Jupiter. Okay, so all this is because Jupiter is turning direct, 24th of November. 7 days before that, all people will start to feel the influence of Jupiter. So we can say 17th of November, this is when it starts, the turning of the tide towards good things. And 14 days, it's very strong. So we can say till the beginning of December. Jupiter is very, very, very powerful and will bring the much desired good things for everybody. After that, until he becomes retrograde again, he will give all the good events that people are expecting to have, but still they didn't have, according to the transit of Jupiter in their places in the chart. Mm. Right, because people may think, oh, I have Jupiter in the 5th house, why nothing good is happening, why there is no love. This is for the Scorpio.
People say right? That. And I say, wait, there's still time.
Yes. So now it will come soon. So this is about it. I think this is like the most important things. Just let's say on the between 22nd and 25th, we have also the so-called black moon. So wait until 25th of November to start any new thing. Do not do it 22nd to 25th. It's more time to rest. People will be much more exhausted in that time. And then we wait for the visible Venus next month.
Yes, and now you have to do mic drop with the good news.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Trifon. And if anyone would like to contact Trifon the whole of November, he's doing a very big discount. I think it's $70 for his yearly 2023 horoscopes, personal Skype reading with you, that he looks at the year ahead, starting with the bad, finishing with the good.
Always.
Thank you so much, Trifun. Have a great November. Be safe, everyone.
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you soon with the marathon.
Soon
Bye
we'll
bye.
talk again.